Hey guys, and welcome back to React with Nicole. You might be wondering, why is she wearing a jacket when she's inside? Well, guys, it started snowing today. And so my room feels like Antarctica right now. Legit. And I can't. I cannot not wear a jacket. So I'm gonna be wearing this or some form of a jacket in basically almost every episode I do from now on. And you're just going to have to roll with it because that's all I got. I don't know if I have a lot of jackets. I might have to dig some out of the closet. But, yeah. So, what is this about? Well, Big Sky. I just recently went ahead and uploaded the breakdown of the first one. It was supposed to come out the week of the episode when it first aired, but so much stuff's been going on. I have not had that chance, so it's out today. Now, Big Sky is this brand new TV show. It's getting a lot of controversy though. Controversy. Can't even speak. It's got a lot of issues running around with it, what with the trucker industry and also Montana itself. I'm not going to talk about that right now. If you guys want me to react to all the stuff that's going on that's around this series, limited series, I'm going to go ahead and say that, then let me know down in the comments below. Otherwise, we're just going to jump right on into this one. So, it starts out with Rick and Ronald. So, if you remember correctly, in the first episode, Cody got himself killed. And so, Rick and Ronald are currently hiding the cars of the girls, the girl's car, and Cody inside of his truck. And they're doing this by using a bulldozer, I guess, and they dug a hole, and they put the cars in them, and they dropped dirt on top of it. And, yeah, that's basically how that went. Which, okay. But, I mean, isn't somebody going to come across it at some point in time? But, aside from that, we get more from Rick, and we find out that they've been doing this for a while now, and that they made a pact to only take the girls that won't be missed, like prostitutes, which is what Michelle, I think was her name. That's why they took her, because she was a prostitute and she wouldn't be missed. And then Rick tells him that he made a mistake because he took Danielle and Grace, and they are not prostitutes. They are teenage girls that people are going to miss. We also learn the reason why Rick killed Cody in the first place. And that's because Cody figured out that it had to do with long-haul truckers. Which I think is one of the things that people are mad about, but whatever. Then after you leave them, you're going to go back to Cassie and Jenny, who haven't yet heard from Cody. So Cody's been gone for a while. And Cassie, I think it's Cassie, says that she was told that Cody and Rick were going to head on out to a church to do some canvassing, I guess. And Rick tells them that Cody went on his own, which is a little bit suspicious to Cassie right away. Nobody else but Cassie right away. And so, while Cassie's thinking that something's wrong, Jenny, on the other hand, thinks that Cody is out on the bender because he used to be an alcoholic. And she thinks that Cody is out drinking because Cassie broke up with him. Which is when Jenny asks Cassie, hey, was he in love with you? And Cassie gets all teary-eyed and she says she doesn't know. Which, He could have been in love with her. He could have been in love with both of them. Because Jenny is the mother of his child, and Cassie is his co-worker, his best friend, kind of. So, he could have been in love with both of them. Honestly, we'll never know now because he's gone. He's dead. And then you have Ronald and his mother. That's downright creepy. Downright creepy. Ronald comes home. He's been gone all night. And his mom is like, okay, what's going on here? Why you been gone all night? And he's not answering her. He's kind of upset with her. She's upset with him. And she apologizes, kind of. And then, okay, everything else she said after then, I kind of forgot because she got kind of creepy here. And she told him that maybe he's pent up and then to go upstairs and to relieve himself. And, yeah, I don't even have to go any further into that. That's creepy and you know it. That right there explains why he is the way he is altogether. His mom. His mom is the reason why he is the way he is. And then we have Cassie, bright, smart, goes to meet with Rick, alone, just like Cody, except it's daylight and there are other cars around, so I'm pretty much sure he's not going to do anything. Thankfully, Cassie is not as impatient as Cody was, and she instantly picks up on that creep vibe that I was picking up on when I first watched the first episode, and her alarm bells start going off, especially when Rick says that Cody turned into a renegade and wanted to go off on his own. No warrants, and he just wanted to search people's property. She was not buying that. Then Rick made the same line. He gave her the same line that he gave Cody, saying that he didn't want to lose his pension and whatnot, so he's trying to take it easy. And like I said, she's not buying it. I was very proud of that she didn't buy it, like Cody did. Cody was so impatient, he didn't even pay attention to anything. But she's not buying it. And so she leaves. She goes out to her car and she called Jenny. And she's sitting there on the phone when Rick comes up to the driver's side window and knocks on it. And he tells her to let her in so he can talk to her. And I'm sitting there thinking, no, don't let him in. Don't let him in. Don't let him in. Because that's how he killed Cody. But I forgot. It's daylight. There are cars around. He's not going to kill her right here. But he does try to intimidate her by talking to her about guns. Whether or not she can actually fire her gun. Has she ever fired it before? And then he goes on to say, I always wonder what it's like. Because he's never fired his, but we know that he has. And she makes it very, very clear. She has not fired her weapon before, but she can because she went to the FBI Academy. And he was like, oh yeah, but you didn't finish. He was like, I looked you up. And then she gets all smart. And she's like, are you trying to intimidate me? Because it's not working. And he gets kind of mad at that. Like, really mad at that. But he doesn't say nothing. So, we go from her to Jenny, who's back at the restaurant/diner that she was at in the first episode. And the waitress from the first episode comes up to her and she's like, I don't really want to bother you, but you remember that girl who was here with me the other night? And then she was like, well, she usually checks in with me, and I haven't heard from her. So that's also when we learn that Michelle's real name is Jerry. and that she went missing at a truck stop outside of Helena the night before. The same truck stop that Cody had been talking about, which got Jenny thinking. So, Cassie and Jenny are kind of on the same wavelength here. However, they might despise each other. And then we go to and then we go to Grace and Danielle. And Michelle, of course. And so they're sitting here locked up, and Ronald comes in, very creepy like, and he starts calling Danielle beautiful, I think he called her that. And then he called her Cleopatra. And then Grace, feisty and smart / not really smart, kind of gets his attention off of Danielle onto her. And we find out that she's 16. Danielle's 17, I'm pretty sure. And he's talking about how young they are, and she goes off, calls him all kinds of mean stuff that I can't even remember. And then she headbutts him, practically breaks his nose. And while I didn't approve of that at the time, I thought it was a bad idea, a bad game plan. It got him to leave. So it did give them some time. Time to do what? I don't know, but it gave them time. And so after he leaves, they later come up with a plan to make Ronald like them. And the best way to do that is to start an all-girl band. For some reason, it's a decent idea, but it's kind of weird. If you ask me, it's kind of weird. But they decided to start an all-girl band and start singing and things like that. And when Ronald comes back, they're singing a church song, I'm pretty sure. And he's mesmerized by this, but he still takes Michelle out to get showered because they're going to try and sell her. And so she's in the shower. He turns around to give her some privacy. And when she gets naked, she's like, okay, turn around and look at me. And when he does, we don't really see what happens until he brings her back. And her hair was not her hair. And then that's when we find out, for real though, that Michelle is Jerry, who is transgender. We also learn, or they learn, Grace and Danielle, they learn that they're being sold into sex trafficking. And while you might think that Michelle being Jerry might actually affect Rick's plans, it doesn't actually. He just calls it a minor inconvenience. Which makes me think, who the heck are they selling them to in Canada? It's kind of weird. And then we got Cassie, who, again, by herself, decides to go and visit Rick's wife. And we don't actually get to see what they talk about, but we know that she went to go visit her because, one, she tells Jenny she's going, and two, Rick's wife calls him at the end of the episode, and she tells him that Cassie was there, but she asks a question, or she makes a statement that kind of got my attention, and she said, "Please tell me you haven't been hanging around the strip malls again." Which, what would that even mean? What is he doing that got him in trouble last time? What did he even do? And I really want them to go more into this, but I feel like they won't. But they should. They should really go more into this so that we can determine what the heck he did at the strip malls. And so, towards the end of the episode, before Rick gets the phone call, Jenny and Cassie come together, back at the investigation building place, work office, and Jenny says what she thinks, and that is that Jerry's disappearance is linked to Danielle and Grace's, which we know is true. And then Cassie says she's got a feeling, which happens to be the same feeling as when her husband was killed in action. And that feeling is that Cody's dead. Which we know that Cody is dead. Now you might think that's the end of the episode, but it's not, because something else that's super creepy happens at the end of the episode. And guess what that is? Ronald and his mother. You see, he's walking into her room, and for a split second, you might think he's about to kill her. That's what I was thinking. Hey, he's finally going to snap. He's going to kill his mother. And then you know what he does? He crawls into bed with his mom. And she holds him like he's 5 years old. Which reaffirms my opinion that she created that monster. Goodness. And that's everything that happened in episode 2. Legit, everything that happened in episode 2. And so yeah, that's my breakdown. That's what I think of that's what I think of Big Sky episode 2. There wasn't really a lot to go in depth about for episode 2, or 1 for that matter, but maybe as the episodes go on, there'll be more for me to talk about. But yeah, that's it. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon.